No.
That the Jets, even though they didn't win the rights to Trevor Lawrence, they hold the board after Lawrence. How likely is it that they go Zach Wilson or some other quarterback in your view?
Right. Like, and again, I'm very early. Like, Tuesday, I was really supposed to get into the nitty gritty, and my film setup at my house had a little issue. So I'm a little behind, but
Phillip, what did Phillip do?
Well, there was like a wire because he plays his video games there too. So there was like a wire loose, and I had to call the guy to figure it out, and we finally got it. So what I've
throwing your child under the bus? Who do you think you are, Ted Cruz?
Screw kids. Who the hell needs them? Okay, I mean, yep. So I was pissed because I was planning on. But what I've done to this point, just to be totally transparent. I've watched basically what we call a POA in the NFL world, point of attack film they call it. Just the good plays, really. I've only seen good plays from.
Is there a POS film too?
Well, I'm going to get to that because, of course, that's part of evaluating these quarterbacks. But like, I came away, and as you heard me say before, Zach Wilson's got some really, really special traits. I mean, very special. He really does. He's a phenomenal athlete. He's got great feet. He's got, imagination and creativity with how to deliver the football, which we know is so important right now. And to me, just from what I saw there, and again, it's early, but like I said, I was pleasantly surprised that the gap was much closer between Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson than I expected. I thought it was going to be Trevor Lawrence, clearly the guy. I came away just watching, again, the positives going, no, it's not just a slam dunk home run that he's better than Zach Wilson. Wilson has some really special things. Again, and I would think that the Jets are going to, of course, see the same things I'm seeing and are going to certainly think about all possibilities, and I would not be shocked if they went Zach Wilson. Listen, the fan base here in the Jets area, in the New York area, and I know Pete could speak to this too, I don't think they're really behind the Sam Darnold thing right now. I haven't given up on Sam Darnold, certainly. I still think there's good in his play, and he could be something in this league. But, it hasn't worked here, and do they want, with this new regime, to have their own stamp and their own guy going forward? And with their new offensive coordinator that is here, he might really love the athleticism and some of the imagination we talked about with Zach Wilson. Wilson throws perfect spirals every throw, Mike. I mean, it spins hard, like Aaron Rodgers hard or Mahomes hard, where you go, like, am I seeing something weird here? Is that an optical illusion? And there was more power in his arm than I thought, too. So that's where it gets interesting, and they're gonna have a nice decision there. They got a lot of nice options where the Jets are sitting right now.
And if I understand what the flow chart should be for the Jets, step one is analyze the quarterbacks and see if there's one about whom you feel sufficiently strongly to make him the second overall pick in the draft. I think step two after that would be make sure there's no one that's going to make you an offer you can't refuse to trade out of that spot, the Zach Wilson spot, because that's the philosophical discussion that we had last week as it relates to Trevor Lawrence. What is your priority? To have a guy who could be a sure thing, but you don't know for certain, or a bunch of other lottery tickets you could get for him? Are you going to get an offer for Zach Wilson that you just cannot refuse if you're the Jets? That would be step two. And then step three, once you decide you are taking the quarterback with that pick, that's when you move Sam Darnold and get what you can. Because you can't have both guys on the roster.
No way.
If you're going to take the young guy, you can't have the guy who's still kind of the young guy who's in the fourth year of his rookie contract, especially with a fifth-year option looming. And I think I need to put this on my list and then get the answer to it. I think this is the first year that if you exercise the fifth-year option, it's fully guaranteed at the time it's exercised.
Right.
I need to remember. I keep saying that. I'm going to look it up.
But I think you're right.
I think this is the year it becomes fully guaranteed. So you want Darnold off your roster before May 3.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think you are right, too. Well, maybe you can look that up. But it's a big-time decision. It really is. Matt LaFleur, coming from Kyle Shanahan, the 49ers. Listen, Sam Darnold certainly can play that style of football. There's no doubt about it. Play actions, boots, get on the move, do that type of stuff. He's a good thrower of the football, but, he has been injured too. Now, I give him a little leeway for him being injured as compared to Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo's gotten hurt, with great supporting cast around him. Sam Darnold's been getting hurt with, like, as we've talked about, crap around him. And when you're around crap all the time, it's going to get on you, and you're going to smell like crap, as I always say. So, that's where it's hard to get a true picture of what he is. But I'm going to be really intrigued with what they do here. They have a ton of money, in the cap too. Of course, we know all the draft picks. The Deshaun Watson thing makes no sense to me. So I don't expect that to hear that anymore because, they're going to have to trade away everything. And the Jets have needs all over their roster. Really, there's not really a position on their team that you can look at and go, they need upgrades. They need receivers. They need running backs. They need corners. They have no pass rusher. They have a lot of issues on their football team. So that's, to me, where I don't think the Deshaun Watson thing happens, and we'll see if Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh and everybody can get this thing rolling.
Yeah, I agree that they have a lot of areas to address. Douglas has been trying to build the team from the inside out, focusing on the lines. That's the key, offensive and defensive line. Let's one more hypothetical here.
Yeah, okay.
Assuming they go offensive lineman with the second overall pick or address other needs or whatever it is. They don't draft a quarterback in round 1 and they stick with Sam Darnold. Who would be the best backup for Sam Darnold to help get him to where he needs to be as an NFL starter?
Well, listen, the guy that you think about all the time, listen, Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to be out there. Andy Dalton is going to be out there, right? They're going to be those guys that certainly can help him and show him the way a little bit. He has had Joe Flacco. I've been around Sam Darnold. I think we've both talked to people in the Jets. There's a lot that they like about his approach to the game and the things he brings to the table. There's no doubt about that. Really the only negative I've ever heard about Sam Darnold really is just, maybe the juice and the energy he could bring to the team. There maybe wish there was a little bit more there, some fire, during the game, getting pissed off. What the hell are you guys doing? All of those type of things. Haven't seen that from him. Not that that's a necessity to win in football. We know that. But some teams do like that. Another guy I'll throw out there, would be like a Mitch Trubisky, again, too. Not that he's going to be the guy you learn from, but for the Jets standpoint, if they go with Sam Darnold and looking for, okay, we need a backup because, hey, Sam Darnold's gotten hurt and our team's not quite where it's been, Trubisky is the type of guy, too, that I think could run that Shanahan, Matt LaFleur type of offense and have a little success and not be a bad backup that way. But I guess those are the names that jump out to me right off the top of my head, Mike.
Yeah, that would make some sense. I think, though, it's all academic. My gut is, this is a team that's waited 50 years for its next Joe Namath.
Yeah.
They have an opportunity to get – they tried it 3 years ago, 2018 draft, when they moved from 6 to 3 to get Darnold. It didn't work. And what do we always say? Hey, you try it. If it doesn't work, you'll be in a position to try it again sooner rather than later. And here they are in position to try it again. And maybe they end up with the better of the two long term. Maybe Zach Wilson ends up better than Trevor Lawrence. We just don't know, and we won't know until they play a sufficient amount of time in the NFL.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.